Welcome to another video from the Final Mind.
Think about it. For pretty much all of us, work is, well, it's a huge part of our lives. It's how we spend most of our days. It's not just about a paycheck, right? For a lot of people, it's a piece of who they are. But what if all of that is about to change?
So let's just jump right in with a massive question. I want you to imagine a future where machines and AI could do literally everything, every job. Would that be some kind of utopia where we're all free to create and relax? Or would it be a total nightmare? This is the big idea people are wrestling with when they talk about the end of work.
Okay, so before we totally freak out about our new robot overlords, it's probably a good idea to ask, have we been here before? Is this whole fear about machines taking jobs anything new? Well, the short answer is not at all. Actually, we've seen this movie before a few times.
You know, if you look back through history, there's this really clear pattern. Way back, the windmill came along and automated the backbreaking job of grinding grain. Much later, the steam engine fired up the Industrial Revolution, and yeah, it put a lot of skilled artisans out of work, but it also created millions of new factory jobs. And in our lifetime, the computer came along and automated all that tedious calculation and data entry. Every single time, old jobs vanished, people got scared, and that's totally understandable. But then new and often better jobs were created. That's the hopeful lesson history teaches us.
Okay, but here's where the story takes a sharp turn. A lot of smart people are now arguing that this time is different. That with artificial intelligence, the old rules just don't apply. They're calling this the robot revolution, and they're saying it's a completely different beast. So what's the big difference? It really boils down to one simple idea. In the past, machines were tools for our muscles. Think about it, a steam engine, a tractor, a power drill. They were like super-powered hammers, right? They did one physical thing really, really well. But AI? AI is a tool for our brains. It doesn't just do one thing. It can learn, it can adapt, it can improve itself at countless tasks that we used to think only humans could do. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, right? Think about it. The very thing we used to get out of trouble, the thing that helped us invent new jobs when the old ones went away, was our intelligence, our brains. And now, that's the very thing that's being automated. That's what makes this moment so unique, and maybe so scary. And look, this isn't some far-off science fiction scenario anymore. It's not a theory. The impact is already here, and we're starting to see the first dominoes fall in the real world. And frankly, the numbers are pretty staggering.
Let's just start with a number that's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. A report from Goldman Sachs recently estimated that AI could replace or at least seriously affect the equivalent of 300 million full-time jobs across the globe. Just let that sink in for a second. 300 million.
And it's not just Goldman Sachs saying this. The World Economic Forum is right there with them. They're projecting that by the year 2030, which is practically around the corner, about 92 million existing jobs are likely to be just gone, displaced by this massive technological shift.
But this next number, this one might be the most telling, because it's not just a prediction, it's a plan. The same report found that 41% of companies worldwide are already making plans to reduce their human workforce specifically because of AI. And they plan on doing it within the next 5 years. This is happening, folks.
So you see all these huge, kind of scary numbers, and you've got to wonder, what are we supposed to think? Well, right now, people are pretty much splitting into two main camps, and it's sparking this huge debate about what our future is actually going to look like.
So on one side, you've got the optimists. They look at history and say, hey, relax, we've seen this before. They point to that same World Economic Forum report and highlight that while 92 million jobs might go away, it also predicts 170 million new jobs will be created. That's a huge net gain. But then you have the other side, the worriers. They say, no, you don't get it. This time is different. It's brains, not muscle. They worry that the new jobs won't pay as well or that not everyone will be able to do them. And honestly, both sides have some really valid points.
Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, let's talk about the silver lining. Because amidst all this change, there's one area of real hope, the things we humans are just better at. What is it that we can do that a machine, at least for now, just can't?
All right, let's get into it. There are basically three big areas where we humans still have the edge. First up is the human touch, empathy. An AI can read a medical chart, sure, but it can't hold a scared patient's hand. That's why jobs like nursing and teaching are so resilient. Second, there's true creativity. Yeah, an AI can generate a cool picture from a text prompt, but it can't have a dream or a heartbreaking life experience and turn that into art.
And third, weirdly enough, is complex physical work in unpredictable places. A robot can build a car on an assembly line perfectly, but it's completely useless when it has to fix a leaky pipe crammed behind a water heater. Plumbers, electricians, you guys are probably safe for a while.
And this is a really important point, so let's be clear. For most people, AI isn't going to just take their job, it's going to change it. It's going to become a tool. A graphic designer who uses AI to brainstorm ideas is going to be way more productive than one who refuses to touch it. The future isn't about us versus the machines, it's about us with the machines. But we have to be honest. Even if most jobs change, some will disappear. What about the millions of people who find themselves on the losing end of this shift? How does a society take care of them? How do we make sure people can live with dignity? This massive question is forcing us to think about some really big new ideas.
And one of the biggest ideas you hear about is universal basic income, or UBI. The concept is pretty simple, actually. It's like pocket money for grown-ups. The government gives every single adult citizen a regular, guaranteed check, no strings attached. The thinking is, if these machines are creating all this incredible wealth, maybe we should share some of it to create a basic safety net for everyone. It's a fascinating and super controversial idea.
You know, when you peel back all the layers, you realize the conversation isn't really about stopping technology. I mean, we can't put that genie back in the bottle, and we probably wouldn't want to. The real choice we have to make, as a society, is about how we handle it. Who's going to own all this amazing AI, and who's going to get to enjoy the benefits? Those are the billion-dollar questions.
So, what can you actually do about all this? How do you prepare? Well, first, you've got to get really good at learning. Adaptability is going to be the most valuable skill you can have. Second, double down on being human. Creativity, critical thinking, working with other people, those are your new superpowers. Third, don't be afraid of AI. Get curious, play with it, understand how it works, because it's going to be the most important tool of the 21st century. And finally, get involved in the conversation about fairness. Think about what kind of world you want to live in.
At the end of the day, the end of work isn't some prophecy carved in stone. It's a choice. We could use this technology to build a future of incredible freedom and creativity for everyone, or we could stumble into a future with more inequality than ever before. The story hasn't been written yet. So, who's going to write it?
Thank you for watching. To view similar videos in future, do not forget to subscribe.